All right, with these two teams, they met in the playoffs. My Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with the Eagles being a 1.5 point favorite and the over/under being 42.5. All odds I'm getting from DraftKings. Um, you know, this is the battle of the injured teams. Tampa Bay has, I believe, 17 guys who are on the injury report this week, which is really unheard of. That is, bad news. I believe the whole defensive line was on the injured report as well. So not good for the Buccaneers. But the Eagles, they have a lot of their offensive players, their best players, all injured too. A.J. Brown and Smith are probably not playing the game. Devontae Smith got cheap-shotted by the Saints. Saints were just playing dirty the whole game. I believe those guys got fined. So there's proof in the pudding, if you will. And their right side of their offensive line might start. Lane Johnson may be out the game, which is not good for the Eagles. They have a losing record when he's out. And their right guard might be out. Becton might be out for the game too. I believe they're both questionable. So that's something to watch out for if you're going to bet this game. So keep an eye on it. But let's get into numbers. Don't forget that the Eagles are still a very good offensive team. They got some depth, but losing Brown and Smith for this game, it might not bode well. But let's get into the numbers anyways. Their offense is ranked the second best offense in the league. They are third in the best rushing offense and fifth in passing. So there you go. And the rushing, I still think will be there. You got Barkley, who is a beast, who I believe now is the best running back in football since CMC is out. The guy's just killing it. If they want to be successful and win this game, they got to give him the ball every way possible, not just in the run game. They got to get him in wheel routes. They need to get him in halfback screens. Do everything you can to get this man the ball because he is a killer. I also believe that Hurts needs to be running in this game as well to win. He needs to get vintage Hurts where he puts up 100 rushing yards because they're going to need this to beat the Buccaneers because their wide receivers are just all beat up. Their defense, something left to be desired. It's overall 22nd. They're 24th in the rush and 18th in passing. Not terrible for passing, that is. Carter needs to do what he did to the Saints. I mean, the Saints come out and said, or I saw people say that it was the way what he did to the Saints was unbelievable. I saw some tweets about that. He did. When the Saints had hiked, the right guard and center had no chance against him. He was just throwing them like rag dolls. He was in the backfield all day. And another thing to keep an eye on is that the Eagles' big problem was that they couldn't stop the rush or they couldn't get to the quarterback. Now, they only sacked David Carr one time, but they made the adjustment and made their big acquisition from last year, Bryce Huff. They cut his production, and he was only now getting in 20% between 20 and 30%. He's now only getting into the game because he can't stop the rush. He can't. He gets too far ahead, and they just run on his side, and that's it. So they replaced him with more playing of Brandon Graham. Smart, very smart. Even though Brandon Graham's old, a very smart move because they were just getting gashed in the run game. And they stopped Alvin Kamara and the Saints from putting up big rushing yards and exposing David Carr for the fraud he is. So good adjustment by the Eagles. They have to, since this Hurts needs to, because his weapons are gone, he needs to not turn the ball over. He needs to not play hero ball and try to throw a dime to like double coverage. He's not that guy. Hurts is only best when they have a good rushing attack. So Hurts needs to cut down the interceptions and let the person who leads the league in rushing, take over in Barkley. Just rely on him and Gainwell. Hell, get Shipley, the guy the Eagles drafted from Clemson. Get him out there. He's a good catching back. But this team needs to rush. And then when you need like 4 or 5 yards, 6 yards, throw those guys, throw it to Paris Campbell, throw it to Dotson, the veterans, and have them get a few yards. And Dallas Goedert, have them get the yards for you that you need for a first down or so. But besides that, but under Nick Sirianni, the Eagles are 25-12 straight up, and they're 18-16-3 against the spread. when coming off a win. So, just hopefully he listens to his coordinators, let the coordinators do the job, and he just calm down, Nick. Just calm down. Take it easy. You don't need to rush the field and scream at other players. Take it easy. But let's get with the Tampa. Tampa, like I said, they got a lot of hurt guys, a lot of hurt players. 17 guys were on the injury report. So Tampa covered the 2 games against a spread out of the 3 games they played. They did get trounced by the Broncos, which was one of the most embarrassing losses this year. It might be one of the most embarrassing losses of all when the season's done, because they were a 7-point favorite and Broncos have no offense whatsoever. Getting to the numbers of the Buccaneers, they're 29th overall. They're 27th in rush, 23rd in pass, and their scoring is 15. So very surprised that they're only 23rd in pass because, they have a lot of weapons in Mike Evans and Godwin. Not so surprised, though, because for some reason they're not giving Mike Evans the ball. Mike Evans only has 120 yards passing. I mean, he's Mike Evans, 10 years straight with 1,000 yards. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand this. Maybe he's having to step off, or maybe, I don't know, the game plan is not going well. Their rushing's terrible. I mean, they need to get off Rashad White. One of the big keys, I think Tampa could win this if they give and feed the ball to Bruce Irving. But that's not really the Buccaneers style. They live and die by the big play. And I think Fangio, the defense of the Eagles, they actually play for the big play. So the Buccaneers will need to make an adjustment. But they need to give Bruce Irving the ball more. He's more explosive back, and have Rashad White on passing downs because he's really good at that. Tampa Bay's Buccaneers is 27th overall. Their defense, 25th in rush, stopping the rush, and 24th in stopping the pass. And their defense scoring is 15th ranked. Their defense is really beat up. I mean, really beat up. Like I said, Vita Vea, the guy they depend out there to be like their anchor, the guy who holds the glue to the team, he's questionable for the game. So watch out. The right tackle, I believe, is questionable. Their left tackle Whiffs is, I believe, beat up, but I think he's gonna play. And they're 2-4 as home dogs under Todd Bowles. So that's not good. Not good. 2-4. And, this is really telling. Mayfield is the 3rd most sacked QB in the league. Now, that's probably because some of it has to do with him holding the ball, looking for that big play a lot. But Mayfield's going to have to get out and use his legs a bit if, he wants to survive, because I think Carter's going to have a big game. So with all that being said, they're predicting bad weather for a lot of the Florida games. So keep an eye on that if you're betting any of these games. I believe if it's a sloppy game because of the weather, rain, I think that falls in the Eagles' hands. The Eagles just have a better rushing attack, and even with the 2 injuries at the line, right guard and right tackle, I still think we have a better offensive line. The left tackle, Pro Bowler. The left guard, all pro. The center, Kelsey's heir apparent, he's doing good. So the whole left side's doing good. The right side, we'll see. Fred Johnson's at right tackle, and they'll use maybe Nick Gates at right guard and not Tyler Sharp. These are backup guys, but I still think they have the better line. And I think if it's a sloppy game, give me Barkley over Bruce Irving and Rashad White any day of the week. Okay, so, and give me Hurts. Hurts the better Russian quarterback. And so if it's a sloppy game, even if it isn't a sloppy game, I like the Eagles to cover the 1.5. And I like, if I had to bet the over-under, I like it under 42.5. If you get it at 43, that it was at one point, then I would take the 43. But if you could get it at 42.5, I think that's all right. I think it's going to be a sloppy game. But give me the Eagles covering the 1.5 in this possibly injured game, sloppy, rainy game. But give me Barkley and Hurts to just run all over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.